Okay, third related rates question here. We have a 20-foot ladder that's leaning against a building. This is kind of a, quote, classic, intro related rates problem, one that people typically learn. It's being pulled away from the wall at a rate of 3 feet per second. How fast is the ladder moving down the wall? So that would be this piece going down like this. When the bottom is 9 feet from the wall. So that would be when this length is 9 feet. So this is going down, that's going to the right, and then the ladder is staying fixed in length. So the first thing we want to do is set up, kind of build out a little variable system. And to do that, I'm going to redraw this without all the extras. I'm going to call this X because it's a side-to-side length. I'm going to call this Y. And we can either call this H or Z, whatever you want. Or we know it's 20, so I'm just going to let it be 20. And the next one I might do a little bit differently. But so I got X, Y, and 20. And I know that that 20 is always going to be 20, so I'm not giving it a variable. If it was changing, I would need to give it a variable. All right, so let's look at what else we have. We know dx over dt is 3 feet per second. We know we want to know dy over dt is what? We're going to use that, that x is 9. And I think that's about all we have for our setup. So what are we going to do? We're going to use Pythagorean theorem. So I'm going to go x squared plus y squared equals 20 squared. This is going to be, 400? But I'm not really worried about it because I'm just going to d over dt both sides, just like we do with any related rates problem. So this one's a little bit different from some of the ones that I've gone over in some earlier videos, but I just do a quick power rule on the x, and then I multiply by the dx over the dt. And then I do a quick power rule on the 2y, or on the y squared, which gives me 2y. And then I multiply by the dy over dt. And then that's equal to, 400, that's a constant. So when I derive it, I get 0. So all I'm going to do now is just simplify this a little bit, divide everything by 2. I get x, not plus, but times dx over dt plus y times dy over dt is equal to 0. So here is where I think it's best to actually just go ahead and plug in what we know. We know dx over dt is 3, so I'm going to plug that in. I know x is 9, so I'm going to plug that in there. I don't know y or dy over dt, so we're going to go ahead and plug those in, and then we'll figure out what else we need to know. So I get 9 times 3 plus y times dy over dt is equal to 0. So what I want you to see is that we can simplify that. We can get that to a number. It's 27. But I need to, I'm trying to figure out this. I need to get a value for this before I can actually solve for that one. So in order to get this y, what I can do is actually apply Pythagorean theorem to this system with a y equal to, with an x equal to 9. So I'll do that up top here. X squared plus, boom,